Hey,
Hey!
I'm Tenile,
And I'm AJ.
and Angie is not here. She is actually living Surviving Adulthood. She is supporting her son who is into some sports, and so she is missing. But we do have a very special guest by the name of Arielle.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hey.
Ariel girl.
And so, how was everyone's week?
Well, my week was good.
All right.
I'm glad it's over,
Mm-hmm.
but good. I just recently had an exam in school that I passed.
Amen.
That's good.
And just regular work schedule,
Mhm.
working, doing a lot more at work now than I used to do. So I'm just a little tired,
We
But,
can all relate to that.
alive and working and
Yes.
not complaining. So,
Right.
No complaints.
how about y'all?
Well, my week was good, but the last 2 days they dragged. Lord have mercy. Thursday and Friday it was good. Everything was good, no complaints, but it was just dragging. But I do because I'm a fatty. So Friday
What you
we
eat,
had
girl?
my boss. He treated us to lunch, and we had the
Yes.
counter, and I have never eaten there before.
Is it good? I haven't
It
eaten
is
it.
very good. So it is.
What
good.
is it?
It's a burger spot, but it's like gourmet burgers. And so he gave us $100, and he was like, "Go ahead and call it in, and see how
heard
much it
that.
is, and if y'all need more, let me know."
I heard that.
I'm like,
Listen.
okay. I've never eaten there prior to yesterday, so I was like, well, okay, well, let me see, and it was $82.26.
Sweet baby.
And it was for 5 people, and no drinks. So
What did you
everything is
get?
a la carte. It was 3 burgers, 2 chicken sandwiches, 3 fries.
No, but like, what did
And a
you
salad.
order that
Oh.
you liked?
What I had was a burger of mushrooms, red onions, and what else? That was
this
it.
place?
Walnut Creek. The one I went to was in Walnut Creek, but they have one in Fremont.
I think I got one
And
in
they- and
San Jose.
probably still, and they have one at some mall in Livermore. They got the what's the
I
mall?
might have to try them. I don't remember the
I've
mall.
never heard of it.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
good. But it's very expensive.
I believe it.
I mean,
Shout out to your
$82
boss.
For real.
for
Shout out to
burgers
your
and
boss.
fries. That's a lot of money,
That's
right?
them perks.
50, I could see.
Yeah, what kind of
Almost
beef is this?
$100.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was good. So, y'all who haven't eaten there, check it out. It's very tasty.
That sounds good. I don't have any fun free food moments. Oh, I'm lying. I do. Let me tell y'all about my week. It was super chill because I don't know if y'all have had a week where your bosses weren't there.
Oh yeah.
My boss.
Our big boss, he wasn't there Friday, so that was good.
It's
It
just-
wasn't loud.
It's right. And it's not that you're gonna be a lazy worker, but it's like you don't really have the stress of new work coming to you in the middle of what you already have going on. So it's a little bit more relaxed. That was my week. But we tried this Mexican spot, y'all. When I tell you that bean dip was fire, and bean dip is nothing, right? Like it was just like some bean dip with some enchilada sauce, but it was so. Let me tell you, it was
ain't even got words.
delicious. It was delicious. It has,
can't even get it out.
I'm salivating. Like it was bomb. But I have started my workout routine, so I can't play games with my life
Where
anymore.
was it though? Where was it?
It was at this little hole in the wall Mexican food place in Concord. I can't even remember the name of it, and if I did, I would butcher it because it's in Spanish. Like Los Panchos or something
like
like
where?
that. It's over by, actually that's Pleasant Hill. It's down the street from the Target over there.
Oh.
It's like at the corner, but it was
Oh.
bomb. They
I
got
do know what you're
some
talking about.
crunchy
It
tacos.
is.
It's bomb.
So I don't even like bean dip.
It was good though.
And I eat the top, I still eat the top. I was like, oh, this is not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It'll get you in trouble, so don't play with your life. But what I will say is, at the end of every week, I like to have some type of like self-reflection. Today would mark the end of the week. So I would like to say I'm a spiritual person. Like if I was to ever croak, I want people to like say that when they're mentioning me. But that brings me to kind of like today's topic. Arielle, she's somebody that we met at church, and we just got through meeting with our pastor. But a question that we get a lot is like, what's your spiritual walk look like? So I kind of wanted to kind of dive into that today. What is your spiritual walk, ladies?
My spiritual walk is daily. And if we're going to be specific about it, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. And the teachings that he has. So right now, well, let me just give a little background. I grew up in church, and then I moved to Antioch, and we stopped going to church. And then my mom found a church, and we started going again. And it's been church ever since. But no, it's actually, after I went to college, I kind of fell off and stopped going to church, partying.
Right. They don't do that
that college thing.
I do. I know that all too well.
But then I moved back home, and I've actually been really wanting to make this thing a real thing for me, because I believe that Jesus is real, so I want this to be a real thing.
Right.
And it really became my true spiritual walk about a year and a half ago. A very, very, very close friend of mine and I, we actually fell out, and it kind of depressed me. And the only thing that I could turn to was my relationship with God.
Right.
And it got stronger, and ever since then I've been on fire. Still sinning. Not gonna lie, but
I mean, how could you not?
more remorseful and sinning less, and not the
Right.
same ones.
Okay. Right.
Over and over.
Right.
Say that.
But I would say my spiritual walk over and all is growing and beautiful.
Nice.
I love it.
Tenile, what your spiritual walk looking like, girl? What she looking like over there,
my
girl?
spiritual walk, I like what you said, daily. For sure it's daily. I feel like, so I had discussed this with y'all before, like I did not grow up in the church. I started going to church with one of my classmates or friends at the time in high school, and did the same thing, went off to school, and then partied and stuff like that. And then even after school, I left school, did the same thing. But I just feel like from then on to now, to the present, my relationship has been forever growing, and just really dependent on Jesus. Like, I've been sending people emojis over the last, few months.
That Michael Jackson.
And so like people will be like, God, like, you just be chilling. I'm like, yeah, I'm chilling because I'm leaning on Jesus. And the emoji that I'm talking about is Michael Jackson doing the lean in the
Was that Thriller?
No, what is that?
Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, Smooth Criminal video. Yeah. How he just leans forward. That's how much. Even now, like I was going through something, and I was leaning on Jesus like that, and I'm still leaning on Jesus like that.
Right.
So it's just growing and blossoming and just getting better and just stronger. Also, too, trying to listen, right, to really hear more of what he's telling me,
right,
and just paying more attention.
Right.
That's something that I'm really trying to do. So,
sometimes it's hard.
It is.
It's so hard. It's really so hard. Like, so for me, just to give y'all some background, like my parents they were married and they sang in the church. I wasn't always there. I'm the youngest of two, so I wasn't always there for a lot of the times where they were at church, but it was always just like a thing that we were supposed to do. But fast forward to a little bit more present, my father passed away of sickle cell, and my parents had separated prior to that. So when that was happening, you only know what you're kind of like around or taught, and we weren't really in church during that transition. It wasn't until when my father actually passed, I was like, bruh, I need to do something. Like, this ain't about to work. And I was 14 years old. So we ended up finding a church and going there. But just to give you a little bit of a background on who I am, like when I was a lot younger, I wasn't always in church, but I do remember being filled with the Holy Spirit at age 6. And I do remember saying the prayer or the actual scripture where you believe that you're actually saved at like 7. So, or no, I think I was still 6. So that's just like kind of who I am. So I'm not like your typical church girl, I guess you could say, that grew up in the church, but it was just something that we always did. It was just kind of like a known thing. So today, my walk is just that. It's a walk. So I try not to beat myself up. It's the same thing if I'm trying to lose weight or if I'm trying to get a job or it's whatever. It's a daily walk. It's a daily faith walk. I might not get it right at 2 p.m. Thursday, March 24th, but I might have it a little bit more together 6 months from now. My only goal is to continue to grow and not to move backwards. So what does that look like? Like, that means that I'm constantly trying to be more of a positive person, seeing the better in situations, whereas before I was like angry. So I would say overall my spiritual walk is growing for sure. So I could definitely say that who I was. If you met me 2 years ago and you think I'm still this, like, and you run up on me and you see me at the mall or something, like, I'm not that same person. Like, I know people say that, like, in memes and stuff, you say that all the time, like, girl, if I was talking to you, like, if you talked to me a year ago, I'm not that same person anymore.
Right.
I can literally say that. Like, if you try and interact with me how I used to interact back in the day, like, you're not finna get that same AJ, like, period. So I'm very thankful of that. Very thankful of that because you never want to be like stagnant. Like that's one of my biggest fears. In anything that you do though, like work, you don't want to be stagnant. Relationships. Can you imagine?
No.
Like,
No.
I mean, for the married people or the not married people, can you imagine like missionary for the rest of your life? Like, what are we doing? That's very stagnant. Very, very stagnant. But with that, like, what would you say your goals were, Ariel, with your spiritual walk?
Like, what are they now?
Yeah, what are they now?
Well, how about this? Tell us this. What were they, if you had any, right, beforehand, and then what are they now?
So I didn't have none before. As a teenager in high school, in church, I was still normal teen. I almost cursed, Lord. I was a normal teenager who wanted to go to the parties, and I was going to church, but I was still. I cared what people thought about me. I cared about opinions. It's high school.
Right. That's what you do.
Right.
And even as an adult, that's something that you still battle with now.
Yeah, especially with social media.
Can't stand it sometimes. Yeah. But now, I would say that my spiritual walk goal is to give what I have been given. So, like, I've been given forgiveness freely and without a price that I had to pay. So I should also give that. Or compassion. I should also give that. Or even money.
Right.
My goal really is to actually be able to give to anybody who asks. So at some point, Lord, please bless me with enough funds to whenever somebody walk up to me and ask me, I could just give it to them, and it doesn't hurt me, and it actually blesses me because it blesses you to give. So yeah, my goal is to just have a much larger, generous heart, just to mirror what has been done for me,
right?
Because there's nothing I would be able to do to pay that back,
right?
But yeah, my goal is to, for sure, have a more generous heart, but more practically. I'm in culinary school and I want to open up a restaurant. And my restaurant I want to use as a means to give back to foster kids, like give them breakfast every morning before they go to school. That's a goal.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I have a whole lot more, but that one is the first one, and then I have another goal to do something with my sister as far as bed and breakfast. But the ultimate goal is to either start to run or open up my own rehabilitation apartment complex for homeless people.
Nice.
Because if y'all don't know, homelessness in the Bay is a major
it's overwhelming.
Problem.
Yeah.
And people don't care.
So many.
And
so many.
I go to work and live where there's tons of homeless people, and it's like heartbreaking to see them. And I always want to be like, I want to give,
Right.
but you know, I got my own rent I gotta pay,
Say
so
that.
I
Right.
can't just give
For
all
real.
my money away. But no, I do. I want to open up a shelter that have never been seen before, where you know, they have somewhere to live with an address, so you
Right.
can apply for work. You get free cuts, like haircuts, free
Mhm.
health care, free all of that stuff, and then transition into being able to take care of
Give
yourself.
yourself.
Um,
Actual,
so that's that big
Applause.
part.
actual
Yeah.
tools,
Applause.
right? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
that's
so
what
many
they
times
need is
we don't give like
tools.
actual
Yeah.
tools
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah. So like cooking is like what I love to do, but what I really, really love to do is serve, because that's what you do when you
Mhm.
cook.
Yeah,
You serve it to people.
right.
Yeah.
And so since I'm learning how to be a chef, I think that way in the future when I do the homeless shelter, that I would want to teach cooking skills to some of them who don't actually have job
Right.
skills, because
Mhm.
homeless people aren't all. I mean,
Mhm.
none of them are worthless, but some of them have skills. They just
Haven't
don't
had
have
the
no place to live.
opportunity,
Right.
So, yeah, that's really what my goal is, to just have a big old heart that ain't never been seen.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
I ain't trying to get too spiritual on
Ah!
camera.
No, that's good.
No, that
When the
is
cabbage
good.
patch, you know?
That is good.
That is good.
Let me see. What are my goals? Like, I guess spiritually. You know what? I was thinking about this, y'all. Tell me if I'm wrong. I was, like I said, I didn't grow up in a church hall like that, but I always had a grandma, like, on both my sides that was praying for me. As the generations get older, we don't have that grandma no more, and we don't understand how, like, how big it was to have somebody praying for you. So I want to get to a place where I am able to spiritually pray for my grandkids, cousins, sister, partner, because you don't know how much that protects you in the long run. Like,
Right.
I don't know. In my family, we listen, okay, we got stuff going on. Like, whether people is sitting down right now for circumstances that were out of their control, or maybe it was a mental health breakdown, whatever it looks like, we are in the position to pray for people so many times, because you never know what you go up against daily. I think my overall long-term goal would be to be that grandma that's like, grandma, pray for me one time, I'm about to go take my test. I got you, baby. give me a hand. Like, I need that. Like, we need that. Otherwise, what is we about to do? Like, I'm scared for the generations.
That's interesting that you say that, because, like, I'm gonna tell y'all my goals, but, like, for example, like, my mom, I know she's not.
Don't do it.
No, really, not to, because she's not like
We trill over
mad
here.
spiritual,
Right.
like she grew up in the church and stuff like that, and she will pray, but she is not that praying grandmother. She's not, yeah.
Right.
She's just not,
Right.
and so I think also too, whatever her personal circumstances that she has going on hinders her from even being available to do that. So that is very interesting that you say that, because
It's big.
that's personal.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
At least from there. Like me, yeah. Like when my son, or if I have more kids, my kids, they have kids, like I'm definitely praying even now, obviously, for my son and on. So
Right.
that's yeah. I don't know.
That's big.
I think also too, I mean, why is that? Why don't we have that?
I don't know, but it's scary. It's like, I don't know if y'all listen to Kendrick Lamar, but like that was one of the reoccurring things on one of his albums. He was like, he's known as a person that would intercede for his friends, and his grandma is the one that put him on and had him learn about that kind of thing. So it's just like, even if you talk to the old heads or the OGs or whatever you want to call them, like, they definitely, whether they was drinking, smoking, straight West Coast, and they definitely had somebody that was like looking out for them and like had their best interest at heart and knew how to actually pray for their families. Like, without that, I'm curious to know where they would have ended up.
Well, I think like part of that is our grandma's kids' fault. So like our parents.
For real though, yeah.
Because they're the ones who, if your grandma, so my mama's mom grew up in church, and my mom did too,
Right.
but my mom walks away from that,
Right.
then that takes me away from
Right.
that connection too.
Right.
So, like, it's everybody's fault.
Right. I just want to bring it back, because like, I feel like it was just a better time. I just feel like it's something about when you have a praying grandma or a praying family in general. I know so many of my like friends, and not only like they had like babies earlier, so that's like 3 generations that have been disconnected. So it's like, what do they believe in? Instead of believing in something, they go into substances. So now they are completely disconnected because instead of you dealing with your problem, you just trying to smoke it away or drink it away, or or you focused on the fact that you don't have no money instead of having faith in the fact that it's coming. Like there's no faith, there's no hope. So everybody is just out running rampant. But anywho, not to get too deep, because I can do that. What are your goals, Tenile?
Oh.
And it could be like spiritually or just like in general. So like just your goals, period, that you want to pray on.
Right. So my goals are to. What are my goals? I don't know what my goals are.
You do.
No. I'm trying to think. My goals are basically one of my goals. I do. How you right? You're right. I have one goal that's always in the back of my mind is to be more present at church because I have a real issue with that. I will be there all the time, and then I will be there no time. And Pastor constantly says this to me and others, but especially when him and I talk, like your presence is needed, not for him, but, for myself and for others that are like me. So that is a real goal. Like, and I don't know why I get in this mold of like not going, because I've been very tired and gotten up and gone to church at 8 o'clock. So and I used to go to church even earlier than that. So I don't know what that is about, really. I have to really do some self-examining on that. But that's a goal that I want to do, and just be more present. Another goal, I don't know. I don't know if I can hear that.
Well, I do want to specify something because you just kind of like made me think about it, like church, and we're talking about something that we probably should be a little bit more specific about. So kind of like what Ariel said earlier, like she's specifically a follower of Jesus. So notice that we didn't quote unquote say Christians, because there's such a negative connotation behind that, and like you made me think about it in like being present and feeling like you have to physically be there, and that routine and that like religion thing about it.
But that's the thing too, not to be routine, right? Because I know that like sometimes I'm not gonna be there, and I don't to be there every Sunday. I'm not saying that, but I have me personally, I get in a zone of like not going, and I have no real reasoning not to be right. Exactly. And so that's the thing. Like, no, I'm not following like a tradition, and stuff like that. Like that doesn't mean me personally means nothing to me. Like it's all about my spiritual walk, my relationship with God, and that the word is there. That's what matters to me. But like, let's say like life goals in regards to like what Ariel was saying, like what I would like to happen is for us to just do so well on this podcast and all these endeavors that we have planned, is to really give back to our church in a real way. Because we have had people who have made it like in sports and don't really do much of anything. And not to even say like their money, but they don't donate their time and presence. And so, but I would want to do all the above. And also to just figuring out, how to make our communities better. I don't know exactly what, but yeah, that's a goal, yeah. Because there's so much stuff that's going on. I would like to be able to have that time and money to dedicate to see like, this is what we need to do. This is the type of laws that need to be written. This is the type, I need to sit on this board or travel to this place and meet with these type of people, all the while doing this. So yeah.
I got another goal actually that you reminded me of, Angelisa, about grandparents and praying over their kids and everything. And how, like we said, our parents stopped going to church, so it kind of trickled down into our generation. I was thinking about, like, I don't have a kid yet, and so
Me
me
either.
getting my issues worked out before I even get married and have a kid, so some of those don't,
Come
Don't come
on,
with.
breaking
you
them
know,
generational
don't go down
curses.
into
Yeah.
them, or they don't have to. The thing that I've struggled with as a young adult, I can break free from, and then tell my
Yes.
kid how
You
I
broke.
did it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not. I mean, it's good for your child, of course, to see you probably were struggling through something, but some stuff, no. You just need to have the
Yeah.
answer,
Right.
you know,
Right.
for them. And so I want to just have as much of my personal issues
Right.
worked out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
before.
Because you
That's
don't need
true.
to see my entire struggle.
And they'll see you
No.
struggle about something else.
Anyway,
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so
And
that's
my
life.
struggle will
But
look
yeah.
a little different
Yeah.
at a certain age versus previously.
Yeah. Or just even then, like, not even with age, but just that experience. Like, I am going to do this.
Yeah.
Take care of this now.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think of it like, this is going to sound crazy because I'm in culinary school and I kind of make everything sound like food. But,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
like, I think about the food that I ate growing up and how my parents cooked and how it might not have been the healthiest, you know?
No.
Right.
But I liked how it tastes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I have kids, I think about, like, I want them to be able to like the food, but they don't need to necessarily have the fattening of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I'm gonna try to change the method, but
Right.
still have the same substance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, type of
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it, as like I'm taking what I learned and making it better, which we all should do.
Be doing
every
that.
I
generation
agree.
anyway.
I completely agree.
But that's it.
I
you
found
know.
I found a recipe for some chicken nuggets, but instead of it being chicken nuggets, it was cauliflower. I'm gonna try that when I leave here. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew
It's
that.
not chicken. It's cauliflower.
It's cauliflower, and you dip it in bacon.
Uh.
It's bomb. I had it before. I swear it's good.
we like.
It's good.
Okay. You know.
It
I'm
really
over and
just
take
Call
it.
it nuggets.
Yeah, I said chicken nuggets to kind of throw y'all off, but I want to try that. But that's so true, and I was thinking about it. I just had that conversation with my moms. I was like, it's so different because, like, as a mother, there was certain things. Even though my mom was a younger mom, we didn't know. Like, I didn't really know that we was broke. Like, until I got
Yeah,
to
me neither.
until I moved out here into like the suburbs. I'm doing air quotations. But until I moved out here into the suburbs and I had my own room, I didn't have my own room until I was like in high school. Like I shared a
Yeah,
room with
me
my
neither.
mother for heck along. But that wasn't something. The way that she handled it, it wasn't something that I was like, oh, we're poor. I'm a
Yeah.
loser.
Right. Yeah, I had no
I've
idea.
been in a room with
That's
my
the
mom.
thing too about parents back in the day. I feel like they just knew how to mask it and to make it seem like life is still okay.
Yeah.
If they could, if the circumstances
Right.
weren't too bad. Because, like, yeah, my brother and sister and I, we shared a room.
For real,
That's why I
for
said
real.
brother, sister, and I. We shared a room. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in El Cerrito for heck long. And then we moved out this way. And then even then, I didn't have my own room. My brother got his own room, and then my sister and I, we shared a room. And then I didn't get my own room until I was 15. So, yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, even though like they wasn't in their minds,
And,
they
like,
probably
I
was
felt like
thinking
I had
how
a
we
lot
was
of stuff. Like we
thinking.
had, we didn't want for nothing. Like nobody was like, "What you got on?" Or, we
Yeah.
didn't experience
What
no
are
stuff.
those?
Like, yeah, we
R.I.P.
didn't experience. Yeah, we didn't. Oh,
That
I
sounds
know,
like
sorry.
God's grace.
Hey,
yeah, yeah.
Like,
it
you don't
really.
see
you
what
don't
really
see
is
it,
You
going
don't,
on.
right?
yeah, you don't. And I
Right.
had no idea.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with her earlier. I was like, we was low key homeless. I said that. She was like, we was not homeless. I said, what did we have a key to? She said, shut up, you right. But like, you never know. And nowadays, like, even though like we don't have that praying grandma, the moms that I see sometimes, I'm not gonna do a hasty generalization because I'm not a mother too, and I don't want to do that. But in some cases, like, they'll just make their struggle a big deal, like whether they put it on social media. So it's like,
Yeah.
I hope your kids don't see this, but there's no way
Wow.
with you posting your whole daggum life, I need a couple dollars, I need to do this, I need to. They have to see it in some way, shape, or form. You're not just keeping that straight on social media. So I
Or
mean,
somebody's
we
like,
got to get
"Damn,
back
I
to the
seen your
ba-
mom."
Hello. You have a
Ask if they
GoFundMe
did.
for
Yeah.
your basketball season? Like, come
Yeah.
on, bro.
So that's the thing too. Like again, even
but help is
touching on that,
needed.
yeah. Help
I'm
is
not.
needed,
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm not saying it like that because everybody needs help. But it's just a certain way that you do things that are like more tasteful than others. Anyways, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
You digress.
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
So what are your goals? You didn't tell us your goals.
I did tell you guys my goals.
She want to be the grandma.
Yes.
Grandma.
The
Yes,
grandmas.
you did.
Grandma. But what I did not tell y'all is stuff that I struggle with though, because there's always those challenges, right? If you're trying to be in like a faith walk, like there's gonna be challenges because you want something, whether you want to say the universe, whether you want to say the enemy, whether you want to say negative spirits, gonna try and get you to revert back to what you used to be. So like challenges. What kind of challenges do you guys face in your daily walks? I'll tell you one. Traffic, okay? Because I'm quick to cuss you out in my car, and you'll never know. You'll never know.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish.
Definitely.
You know how you talking on the phone, your Bluetooth, and like people can hear the person you're talking to outside your car, but they can't hear you.
Right.
I was like, I wish that they could hear me. I was saying that the other day. I was like, they could hear me. They would move. I was getting so upset.
She was hot.
But yeah, that is definitely one. But one of the struggles I do have that I am just like hoping that I'm getting through them is like, you know how like there's a bomb and like somebody goes over the bomb and just kind of like it just blows up.
Oh,
right, and
yeah,
then, but it just covers it, right? I forget what that is called.
You,
but you know,
you smother the bomb.
There you go. You smother
I
the
got
bomb.
you.
Right. That's how I feel like it's happening to me. Like
You're smothering a bomb?
Well, because it goes off,
Oh.
right? But it's just like
You take all the.
I do. I'm just
Oh,
like,
that's-
I'm like, oh, because I want to
Did
blow
you just
up.
make that analogy up? That's deep. Wait, you are smuggling bombs.
I just really want to go off on certain people about specific things, and I'm like, if I do that,
yeah,
I'm not gonna get anywhere, right? And it may cause the whole situation to revert like 3 or 4 steps back.
Right.
So I am trying to figure out.
When do you usually feel like you're
How I can do
smothering
that.
the bomb, though?
Oh.
Mine used to be at work.
So right now it's not at work because I'm at a new job or whatever, and although it's a little stressful because it's new and I have different roles that than I had before, it's just okay. The job is okay, but like with my mom,
Mommy.
yes, and then certain things around the house here with my significant other.
Oh,
And
that
even if
boo
it's
thing.
not- and even if it's not like something big, because I am my mother's child.
Relationship.
You know,
That's
you
the
know, she,
struggle.
like even as a kid, like she would be like, if we had like our shoes downstairs, she would just like flip out because our shoes were downstairs, like on the floor,
Or
when
like
they
that
should have
fork
been
in
in
the
our,
sink, girl.
yeah,
Yes.
you know, they should be in the closet, and I'm just like, okay, Tenile, it's not that serious, right? But I don't want to flip out because I feel like I'm going to flip out. I'm like, okay, well, we discussed this already. I need you to clean or wipe or whatever. And even though it's not serious, I think I would just overreact. And I'm trying not to overreact. Even with things with my mom. Like, okay, I'm getting really irritated because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But not trying to overreact because that is something that she would do, that she does.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm trying not to overreact. So it's like, and I'm just like,
You trying to unlearn?
yeah, I really am. And I'm just like,
That's real.
and I'm conscious of it because I would be like, oh,
Well, that's good.
and
that
I
you're
just think about it and I'm
conscious
like, okay, well, that's not gonna help,
Right.
you know. So like, how can I do it?
of it. Right.
So that's a big thing. That's something that I'm up against, and it's hard.
It's hard, and I think you're referring to like in the Bible somewhere. I'm not gonna whip out no scriptures, but it says that you not like it's anything wrong with that, but I'm just not. But you could be angry but sin not. It's something like that in there. So I mean, I get it. It's hard to like revert back to what you was taught. I definitely be doing the same thing because my mother, she's a flasher, and I try not to engage. But sometimes, baby girl, she be taking me there.
Oh gosh.
I be struggling.
That's a huge thing. I think I think something with my mom, that's something that's gonna always like be there.
But we
till
love them dearly.
One of us pass. You know, I think
Love
that's
them
just how it's
dearly.
gonna be. Not in a bad way.
I love my mother.
But you know what I mean? You just have like
my
this
mother
thing.
is my best friend, FYI.
Oh, see, that is a wonderful.
She's legit my best friend. Like if you catch me outside, I'm low key with her.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah, well, y'all are definitely cute together.
Oh, thank you. She looks like me.
You look like her.
I don't know about
but
that.
y'all are very cute.
Let me see. Challenges. Oh, this ain't a challenge, but I don't know if this ever happened to y'all. Well, I have two. Let me tell y'all my first one. I worked in retail for 10 years. A lot of people don't know that because I look like I'm 12. But the thing is, I worked in retail for 10 years. And anybody that knows Bay Area retail knows this. The boosters are out running rampant. And when I tell you, like, I take it personal. And this is why I take it personal. If I'm a manager of a store, and I was at the time, I wasn't a store manager, but one of the managers, because I would not agree to store management. But anyways, so I was one of the managers in the store, and these boosters used to come in all the time, and they looked like me. They were around my age, and they could have, sometimes that was my partners. Don't disrespect my place of work like that. So I would say, as far as anger goes, that used to like literally make me want to fight you, because I know what you're doing. I know you have a slider. Like, I know you just slid that in your little raggedy humongous bag that nobody even wears. Like, I know what you're doing. Like, can you just come when I'm not here? Like, why you gotta do it in front of me? Like, and you know I can't do anything. Like, it's just but now I'm better. Definitely better, because I can't take those things personal, and I don't know what somebody else is struggling with, right? So at the time, I didn't care about that. Now it's like, I don't know if this person just got evicted, or this person needs to boost to sell it to do, I don't know that person's situation. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm way more empathetic to it now that I've been revisiting and doing some self-reflection. My second one, I done forgot because I just got so angry about them boosting. I got so mad. They used to be boosting, y'all.
Well, this is kind of like a different, we can do it on a different day, but I do want to say a challenge is just constantly being me when you said at work, because like I'm the only black person at my job, and so like there's never been probably, and I don't know. So one of my friends that I worked with previously, she works there, and she was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, if you get hired here, you're gonna be the only black person. She was like, and she's white, she was like, they're not gonna mistreat you, not gonna feel no type of way, but I just want to let you know. And like, she's like conscious, white woman, she's like cool, whatever, but she's not the type of white woman trying to be black. She's not that. But she's just cool and it's aware, So anyways, but that, just to like be yourself and like just not to conform to whiteism.
Whoa.
Like, this is me. And if I wear my hair a certain way, that's just what it is. If I wear something or whatever, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, one of my coworkers, I guess, I didn't know what she was, her ethnicity, until she said it. She was like, yeah, I'm Armenian. But prior to that, she had came to me. She was like, oh my gosh, I just watched Wanda Sykes' special on Netflix. Have you seen it? I said, no, I didn't know that she had a special out. She's like, yes, oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's so funny. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, yeah, it's a joke in there where she's telling like white people, and she's like, I guess I consider myself white in this instance, which I think is a funny thing, that people who are not like black be like, oh, well, I consider myself white right now, and then at other times they're like, I'm Armenian, I'm this, I'm that.
I wish I could pick and choose. I mean, not really.
But anyhow, so I digress. But she says like, oh yeah, the joke is like, yeah, well, white people, when you come back from vacation, don't go to your black coworker and be like, hey girl, and put your arm out and next to theirs and be like, I'm almost there.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
don't
talk
do
about
that.
And I was like,
right.
yeah, no, don't do that. And she was like, yeah, she said that was so funny. I'm like, yeah, it is funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Like, do not do that. So like, even though she was like cool, she didn't, whatever, but I was like, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Like, yeah. So just like just being yourself and being comfortable, that is a challenge. Also too, to be like, that's another thing too, like I be thinking, okay, am I overly spiritual? Because like oftentimes I do relate things to Jesus, or like, oh, this is that because of this and that. But I'm like, F y'all.
That part.
Like this is me. Like I'm gonna say that this is how I'm feeling. Like
straight,
this
no chaser.
Really? Yeah. I'm not gonna apologize, and so I just be like, ooh, Jesus, just keep me. Because sometimes people like, huh? I'm like, yeah.
I'll be doing that. I'll go to a lunch at work and I'll still say my grace. They don't usually feel uncomfortable, but I mean, can I just make sure my food is all right? What about you, Ariel?
Well, first, I don't care what nobody say about me.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
For real.
Because you don't never know. Somebody might have. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But challenges in the spiritual walk. There are quite a few, actually. I would say one of the challenges is staying on the spiritual walk.
Come on. That's real.
Like,
you see how excited I just got?
Yeah.
Come on. That'd be a real stressor.
no, really. Like, this is, like I said before, this is a daily thing. Like, you really have to be in your head, like, I'm deciding to do this and not go back to what was comfortable or what I was doing before, which sometimes don't work out.
Right.
Like, and which is the challenge. I'm finna telling myself I smoke, okay? And
now she's saying I'm about to tell myself.
Right. Why she preface it like that, girl?
It is. But and I don't really want to anymore. Like in the past, I was like, I will smoke you down, out.
Right.
Right. To me.
Right.
But now I'm learning that I need to be a good steward over my resources. And weed costs money.
Right.
And so if I'm going to be a follower, I need to be a good steward over everything that I have, which includes my resources. And so everything I have also includes my body. And so smoking ain't good for you either.
So weed is really not good to smoke?
No.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I like edibles.
Well, for me personally, it's
like, are we talking lungs or are we talking like
anything that you smoke can cause cancer? I mean, it can.
Okay.
So
I know that sounds real ignorant, and I'm like heck old.
No, you asked them. Somebody asked
some
that
people
question.
Don't think that.
Like I really
at all.
didn't think,
But
especially like now that they have different strands. Like I was thinking, like maybe that could cause something. But
you're talking about the actual.
It's just the actual hot air.
Yeah.
Going into your lungs.
You're not necessarily talking about marijuana and like rubbing.
Period. Smoking is not good for you.
Right.
But personally, for me, marijuana was a way to get peace.
Okay.
Especially when I was going through that situation with my friend.
Right.
And so I have contributed weed to peace instead of
Jesus.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now I'm trying to get away from this is what gives me peace.
Right.
But this is actually where
your
peace
peace is. Right.
Yeah. So I definitely struggle with that because
Let's see.
smoking leads to me spending money that I probably could put
It
towards
is,
my
right?
debt or something.
Yeah.
It keeps me in a mindset, and sometimes you be high somewhere where you really don't
want to be.
Right.
Or you were like, dang, I probably shouldn't be like this right now. But it happens. But every time I just, be Lord, continue to work on, me, make me more responsible, increase the desire for me to follow you. That's definitely a challenge. Another challenge is relationships with your man.
Oh, yeah.
I love my man, by the way. Let me preface that. But
that's so cute.
When we first started dating, I wasn't really following.
Right.
I mean, I know the Lord because I grew up in church, but I was still on that prodigal daughter.
Right. Absolutely.
And then we got together, and then in the midst of us getting together, my view has changed. Like I don't want to say I got resaved, but rededicated.
Right. Right.
And so the things that we used to do, we ain't doing no more because I'm convicted now.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes a challenge when your partner doesn't necessarily want to go that route or don't know if they want to.
Right.
But you ain't going back.
You're not budging.
So
Right.
that is a challenge that I'm just, praying for. Vision.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's hard.
And also just internal battles, just confidence and like all those type of things. Knowing that you have a vision that's hecka big and I can't do it on my own is sometimes overwhelming.
Right.
But like you said, leaning into the Lord. Like owning a restaurant in the Bay Area is hard.
I just seen one close.
Oh, really?
They closed back to back to back to
They
back.
close all the time.
What was I going? I was going to go get something. I want to say it was sushi, and I pulled up and it was like closed. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? It's hard.
And even when you tell people, like, so that's another thing, another challenge is to stop telling people all your goals and stuff, because they'll try to kill it, or they don't know that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but they are.
But I know that that's what,
right.
to me, the enemy is using them to try to kill this dream that
right.
I have.
Right.
But it would be like every time I would mention like I want to open up a restaurant, not work at someone's, but my own. They're like, oh my God, that's so hard. And groceries cost so much money.
But you know what? Yes, but God's going to provide.
If you say that out loud, people they think that you're crazy. Like, I don't want to be a Christian who solely believes that miracles is going to get me through everything. No. You have to do work.
Yeah, Can you say that again? Oh my gosh.
You have to take me on another tangent.
I know, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to let her have her moment, but
you got to do work, and so like I just don't want to be discouraged from it. Like I know that this is what I heard.
Right.
But also like be practical, but still faithful.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Which is hard.
And people, the thing is, I just be like, if you don't understand, then you just don't understand. Yeah. Like. Go ahead if you have concerns. Give me your concerns. And then I just take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. Because I just be like, But I do realize that there are some people who are just like, who really consider themselves realists. And they don't like dream. They're realists. Like, this is my plan.
That's a very good point.
This is my plan. One of my best friends, she's like that.
Right.
Like, she's a realist. Like, even though, like, I'm the dreamer, like, she don't try to kill my dreams. Some stuff she said, like, but we know this about each other. We've been friends for like 20 years or more. Right. So it's like, this is her plan. She's like, I'm going to college. I'm going to graduate college. I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to graduate. This is her plan. And this is what and then she's done it. Check it off, check. Okay, something else I want to do is the plan. How do I get around it? Check. Yeah. It's not dreaming like, I would want to do this. Right. Things that are hard to obtain. Right. Like even, for her in her field, it is hard for like me to, I doubt I would ever be a lawyer, attorney. That's a lot of work. That's not my interest. Like, that's hard. So everybody cannot be a lawyer, but it is one of those things that you can check it off if you're working hard and you apply yourself. And I feel like it's the same way, even though like realists don't really realize that, but it's the same way with a dream. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You have to create a plan.
You do have to create a plan.
All that.
Yeah, and your plans get revised a bunch of times. Right. And then you work at it. Like
even realist dreams get revised.
Yes.
I mean, their plan.
Yeah, exactly. Even even something as simple as like a party. You revise, and then it's done. So, yeah. But you got it, girl.
That's true. It's so many challenges that go into surviving adulthood and spirituality and just having that balance. I think for me, my spirituality, and I am also a follower of Jesus, if I didn't say that in this podcast, but I think it gives me the balance that I need to get through the day, because it's just too much going on. Like, if I can't lean on something greater than me, what are we doing? Like, these have you seen our president? Like, that's neither here nor there. I think it definitely just gives me balance, and it helps to recenter my day so that I can be a more positive and productive person throughout the day. And it did take a very long time to get here because I did not think like that 2 years ago. I didn't think like that a month ago. Like I was reverting back to things that I used to do that wasn't really working. But as we all know, that's the definition of insanity, to continue to do the same things over and over and hope for something different. And I will say that, like, I don't know about y'all, but from what we've talked about, like, in the past outside of this podcast, this is the happiest and, like, most productive that I've been in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just period. And I'm very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful for that. So, I mean, we talked about what our spirituality looks like, what our goals are, what our challenges are as it relates to businesses and relationships and things like that. And we're just, I mean, do you guys have anything closing like y'all want to say? Like, what are the top 2 things that you do to make sure that you stay on track spiritual wise? Arielle.
Well, I have the Bible app on my phone.
Yes.
Right.
And it actually keeps track of the days that you stay on the app in a row.
Oh, that's right.
It does.
It will
I've
shame
seen that.
you.
I was like,
It will shame you.
It has shamed me for sure.
Absolutely. So one day I was like, ooh, I've been on here for 135 days. Went to school on Saturday and had a whole full day and didn't get on, and I got back on the next day and I was like, one day,
Oh, snap.
So
I didn't realize that.
Yes,
Yes.
it will do you wrong.
It'll tell you like your
If you had to spin it,
how
it'll start
long
you.
the
Yes.
strategies, like your longest one or things like that.
It will shame
But
you.
that actually kept me going to the Bible app because I like video games, and so to me that's like a game. Like, oh, I gotta get my number up, get my number up.
Right.
That's good though.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like 2 or 3 devotionals or the Bible plans at one time, just so that I could at least have a scripture. Like, I'm not reading full chapters every day.
Right.
Like, maybe I could read a chapter every day, but I at least got a
Right. For real.
Right.
That's
a lot.
And I would just say, at this point in my life, if I look back on how I used to do stuff and now, I don't even think I would be able to survive adulting without my spiritual walk now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wouldn't even, I would be like, how was I doing it before?
Exactly. Struggling.
Exactly.
Hey.
Struggling.
Shoot.
Mm.
For real.
That's real. That.
And I will say, I do follow Arielle on the. I
I
do follow you, Arielle, on the app, and you do be on there
Yes.
every day.
Yeah,
it
it does tell
I'll be
you.
like, dang,
Man.
I don't even want to get on because I don't even.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just
no,
be
mine be
quiet.
like, you haven't. Do you want to finish?
Do
You
know
started
you're on?
and you did not finish.
You're a
like,
failure.
That is
Oh
okay.
God!
Get
They be
your
telling
life.
me, like, if you're coming in notification, you haven't finished. Would you like to finish?
I will tell you, I have literally only gone on there to keep the streak. So don't think that I'm looking at the scripture. No, I just literally logged on so I can say, you've been on there for 34 days.
That's all right. It get up in there.
But when you're right, but when you do log on, it does. You do like, oh, okay, let me read this. Let me go.
Right,
And
right. You're gonna get something.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't even have to look at your own stuff. Like, sometimes I go on there just to see what other people highlighted because they're reading parts of the Bible that I haven't
Right.
got to read.
Right.
Galatians.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
I'll
doing
be like,
over there?
Right.
Right.
But
That's true.
yeah, I know I'm the most. Out of all the friends that I got on there, I'm on there definitely the most.
Yes, I was like, I'm not even gonna start because I can't keep up. I definitely like that, and it helps me like meditate in the morning because people be just trying me, y'all. And I know that I'm a very nice person, and I am, but I do have a temper. I do.
You see how she tried to tell herself that I am.
I am.
I am.
You believe that?
I got a temper, so I mean, it helps when I'm like meditating in the morning because if you just go out. If you go out butt naked, like, it's just not finna work. You have to clothe yourself. You have to pour into yourself before you actually hit the door. So before I leave, I have to have something positive go on because as soon as I get to work, it might be negative. As soon as I get in a car, somebody might cut me off, negative, boom. As soon as I look at my bank account, negative. And we don't want to receive that. We don't want to receive that.
Good analogy.
For real.
Don't walk out. You wouldn't actually walk out the house
naked.
Butt naked.
So
Yeah,
why
so
would
why
you
would
walk
you?
out?
So you know what? I do walk out naked, but to my vehicle. because I just be rushing or whatever.
Right.
And then, but in my car, I do pray. Like, sometimes I like break it up. I'll be like, okay, God, like I'm praying to you, and I'm like, okay, we having a real conversation. Even though essentially it's like all the same, I feel like the words that I'm using are different.
Right.
So
And God don't care.
yeah,
He
but
don't.
but you know,
He
just
like,
like I
what's up
just
with
in
it?
my mind, like, okay, this is this and this is this.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I do, like on my way to work. So even if even if somebody does cut me off and I may say something or not, it don't hit me. I don't feel the same.
It hit different
yeah,
when
it
you
does.
prayed. That could be a meme.
Yeah, cause and so yeah, same thing with work and all that stuff.
True.
Like, But like let me tap in, or if like I find myself, I'm like, dang, I made it over to Kirker Pass. I'm on Ignacio. I haven't even talked to you yet. Let me holler at you.
What's up,
you
Jesus?
know, yeah, like
what's up,
and then
Jesus?
just talk to him. Yeah, I have to make sure, and I try to. I used to do it with Steven in the morning, but now that things are a little different, we haven't had that. And like that's one thing. Go back to the challenge is to. His dad, like, he don't go to church, and so I'm like, you have to come to church with me. You don't have to go to church with me all the time, but sometimes you do.
Just so he could be around all y'all.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like, you know, Stephen. One thing I am happy about is like Stephen. He'll pray. My son Stephen, because there's two Stephens.
My son,
he will pray. You know, he's like, I'll lead the prayer, and so that's fine. But I want him to be able to do that without me being here, because if his dad is not going to like instill or reiterate, like, hey, you do this, like, okay, Dad, hold on before you take me to school. I need to do this.
Right.
So like,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So for those of you that have asked, y'all live in the Bay Area, people cut you off without no blinker, rent is high, there's so much going on over there. How do y'all get through it? We definitely lean on our spirituality to get us through the day, because it's definitely not all cakes and pies.
Oh, also too, and there's no choice.
I mean, there's
like
that.
You know, I mean, obviously people are doing it, you know, and I don't know how.
There's no choice.
Yeah, there's no choice.
Right.
There is no choice.
That's what we do. Like it's just that's
can't
what
even
it
fathom.
is.
Yeah.
So definitely
hit us up. Check us out.
Yes.
Let us
know
know
the links.
Let us know how you get through surviving adulthood with your spirituality.
Yes, Arielle, thank you for coming.
You'll be back.
Yes, we have some things in the works, so it's not random that she's on here. You will be seeing those later on. But we do want to remind you guys that this podcast lives on Speaking to the Mic. And if you ever wanted to visit the IG, it is info.speakingtothemic. Andy isn't here, but she also shares it, and it's on Love Andy's World.
Yes, and her blog,
yes.
Love Andy's World.
Everything is Love Andy's World. Yes. So if you're looking for her, that's where she at.
Yeah.
Ask her where she was at, because we missed her today. Didn't y'all miss her?
Right.
But anyways. Oh, what?
What's your Instagram?
Oh, y'all know who I am. I'm developed by AJ, but I'm not finna spell it for you. You'll find me. But
he'll be at the bottom of the
Arielle, how can we find you?
Oh, my Instagram is. It's so funny that this is the Spiritual Walk.
Hey.
Podcast. It's God's Lioness.
That's beautiful.
Lioness has 4 S's.
Yes. You will see her all happy. She be cheesing on there.
Yes.
Beautiful. You know, I had braces, so I could
come on.
That work,
come on. I be smiling everywhere I went. Tenile, where you at?
So I am Tenile J across the board. And you can find me there. Otherwise.
Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all know the drill.
Bye.
Bye.